ネタバレめっちゃあります。
The shipping receipt says my solar panel should be in the area ahead of you.
どうも、東北きりたんです。
太陽光パネルは大切にね。東北すんこです。
この辺りに太陽光パネルがあるはずなんですが、
見当たらないね。
Do you see the solar panels? No? I hope some boludo pilot didn't screw up the drop. My nephew marked the plane's flight path on your hunter mate. Search that area, find those panels.
風が強かったのかな。
I haven't been to church since the 80s, but I'm praying to St. Anthony that you find those missing panels. Don't give up. You have to be getting close.
どこかに落ちてるはずだから探しに行こう。
この辺りですね。
You found my solar panels? Whew, maybe St. Anthony did the trick after all. I'll send a crew to that location to retrieve them.
パネルは回収班が持って行ってくれるんですね。助かりました。
さすがに人の手で運ぶのは厳しいよ。
Sounds like everything is there except for some cabling which probably blew further, of course. The winds must resent that we are going solar, but they might also point us in the right direction. My nephew marked an area on your hunter mate where he thinks you should look.
風のせいか、あっちこっちに飛んでるみたいですね。
What galls me is we had an account with this freight company for years. Whoever this drunken mess of a pilot is, missing his drops by whole kilometers, he's finished. We'll see to that.
You are fire.
キャロライナさんは味方だと心強いですけど、そうじゃないとなかなかに手を焼きそうですね。
気をつけようね。
遠くの木に何か引っかかっています。あれがケーブルですかね。とりあえず無事なようで何よりです。
サクッと回収しちゃおう。
See our missing package yet? You can be far off, unlike our pilots. We don't have time to waste. I want you to shoot that package down and hopefully nearby Water Buffalo won't charge you. I promise you, Che, this pilot, this pelotudo is going to pay for putting you at risk like this.
キャロライナさんは手荷物タイプですね。間違いない。
今はキャロライナさんのことより水牛のことを考えた方がいいよ。
水牛さんには痛い目に遭わされていますからね。周りにはいないようなので早く回収しちゃいましょう。
Wait until the Water Buffalo disperse or find a way to disperse them yourself before you retrieve the package.
音量注意。
You've got it. See, this is the last piece we need to power up the lodge. Get back there and do the honors.
ようやく太陽光発電セットが揃いましたね。今度はうまく発電できるといいんですが。ロッジに戻って確認しましょう。
You can install that cabling by the solar panels. My nephew says it should be a simple plug-in.
準備が良くて助かるね。
回収班、設置班の方はとても優秀です。この場所、すごくガタガタするんですよね。ここですか。
ブスリ。
Let's hope this works. Ave Maria, it works! Parque Fernando can finally open to the public.
キャロライナさんが嬉しそうで何よりです。
Che, my beloved Fernando is smiling down on us. You know, he and I planned to open this place all the way back in 1983, but then he died. And one thing after another got in the way of opening. I had a family to pull together, businesses to run. Everybody doubted me, doubted I could manage it all without Fernando. Every time I spent money to improve the park, his boludos brothers laughed and called me Doña Quixote. Too bad none of them lived to see this day. If I am Quixote, you are my panza. And by opening this park, we have fought a giant and won.
キャロライナさんは嬉しそうで何よりです。
Let's hope this works.
キャロライナさんが嬉しそうで何よりです。
Let's hope this works.
キャロライナさんは嬉しそうで何よりです。
Ave Maria, it works! Parque Fernando can finally open this place all the way back in 1983, but then he died. And one thing after another got in the way of opening. I had a family to pull together, businesses to run. But this is only the start of our adventures together, Che. For one thing, we need to put finishing touches on this lodge. I am the patroness for a local artisan, goes by Mad. He's not your ordinary taxidermist, more of a miracle worker with flesh and bones. He can turn most any deer hide into the softest rock imaginable, exactly what we need for our lodge. Harvest a mule deer or a red deer, and I'll have Mad make a world-class rack. World-class.
マットさんというと、キリタンたちにも豪華な剥製を作ってくれている方ですね。キリタンも、毛皮の絨毯欲しいです。
キリタンはいろんなことをやってるし、そのうち自分で作れるようになるかもね。
確かに。
ピューマ。我が輩はピューマである。名前はめちゃくちゃある。ハテナを埋めつつ、ミュールジカかアカシカを探してるよ。
ミュールジカさんがいました。サイドミッションとの兼ね合いで、オスのミュールジカさんがいると嬉しいんですが。
いた。
おう、かなり大きいミュールジカさんがいますね。少しだけダイヤモンド評価を期待しつつ、飼ってみましょう。
微妙に遠いのは気になるところだね。
ほぼ5差レベルだと思うんですけど、動物の評価が高そうだと、これくらいのことでもプレッシャーに感じてしまいますね。
未だに
です。距離が伸びると、風の影響も大きくなりますし、慣れないですね。立ち上がって少し動いてくれると狙いやすいんですけどね。
伏せて休んでるとなかなか動かないね。
下手に近づいて逃げられてしまうと嫌なので、ここから撃ちましょう。肺を狙う感じで。致命的臓器に当たってくれているといいんですけど、手応えはないですね。これもチェックしておきましょう。
ふむ、なるほど。わからん。
My Fernando isn't buried here. He deserves better. A blessed monument at our estancia. Unfortunately, several of Fernando's uncles, brothers and cousins have met their ends here in the park. Those careless boludos never appreciated nature like Fernando did. They caused me so much heartache after Fernando passed. But the thing is, family is family, so I've generously dedicated this little plot to their memories. Not that anybody ever comes to visit them.
なんともコメントしがたいですね。
ギャロライナさんの過去には触れない方がいいかもね。
致命的臓器に当たっていますね。これなら近くに倒れているでしょう。大きいミュールジカさんです。
Che, now that's a height.You will be Mad Matt's new muse, bringing in heights like this. I'll put him in touch with you. You will love him.
ただ、やっぱり難易度イージーだと、ダイヤモンド評価は難しいですかね。
Wait, what's this? Yes, that is bad. Beatrice is bringing in that VIP hunting party in a couple of days, so she's been scouting her hands.She just sent word that someone's been living in one of our world-class hunting flights. Can you check the location out for me?
キリタンたち以外に誰かいるんでしょうか。急いで確認しましょう。
If I wanted people to camp in hunting blinds, I wouldn't have invested in outposts. I'm not going to send you on a manhunt. I have people for that.But while you are there, is there anything that might help identify this trespasser?
展望台の方が。
So this boludo was careless enough to leave a cell phone behind. Let me guess. Is his passcode 11111?
ワンワンワンワンワン。
Wow, I can't believe that worked. But I can't believe this phone belongs to Gilbert Baden. He's this foreigner, too much money for his own good. And he paid me a lot of it to come here before opening, to study puma behaviors. He was supposed to leave days ago, though. What's on the phone? Send me the link.
出たな、バーデン一族。
また出てくるとは。
Parque Fernando Lodging Review. 1 out of 5 stars. No running water, no electricity, no facilities at all, really. Of course not. I told you we weren't open, you pelotudo. Don't trust the owner, Carolina. She promised pumas in the area. Been here 6 days, haven't seen a single cat. Because you're an amateur, Baden. False advertising. Worst so-called reserve I have ever visited in my life. I would give it 0 stars, but that isn't an option.
準備もできていないのにレビューしないでください。
Are you serious? I have never been so insulted, and believe me, I know insult. Pelotudo.
キリタン管理官が頑張っているところなのに、ひどいですね。
そんなことしてると、不運の目に遭っちゃうぞ。
You know what we need right now, besides Baden's head on a plate? A break. We deserve some fun. I'd invite you over to watch telenovelas, but I bet you'd rather be up there shooting.
気晴らしですか？何かあるんでしょうか？
ずんだ餅食べ放題とかどうかな？気晴らしにもなる、お腹も膨れる、一石二鳥だよ。
今はキリタンお腹が減っていないので。
These challenges recreate 4 of my personal best shots. The first is from the most difficult hunt of my life. Fernando had only been gone a few months, and he left everything to me, which angered half the family tree. I hardly had time to grieve before Fernando's brothers and uncles and cousins were pushing me around.
お金が絡むとね。
Every man wanted his piece of Fernando's operations. They said I had no business being in charge. Every day my world was spinning out of control faster and faster. So I came out here to find clarity. Walking these grounds, I could still feel Fernando's hand holding mine.
旦那さんが亡くなったのに味方がいないのは大変ですね。
Stand in this stone circle. See the target? This was where I made my trophy shot that day. Can you replicate that?
動かない的なら楽勝ですよ。
See, you are a good shot. You know, making this shot changed something in me. Even without Fernando, if I could make shots like this, I knew I could protect my family and my interests. All I had to do was aim at the right target and pull the trigger. Click. Let's move on to the next challenge.
こういうチャレンジならちょいのちょいです。
This next challenge recreates a very happy memory for me. It's the spot where I taught my nephew Vicente and my chinita Beatriz how to make a long shot on axis deer. Beatriz got the hang of it quickly, not Vicente, but he practiced and practiced and practiced, and that was when I knew he was in love with Beatriz. Why else would this bookworm be so desperate to learn to hunt? Not to impress his tia Carolina.
こういうのは微笑ましいね。
キリタンはよくわかりませんが。
Nice, very nice. This shot has me thinking. I wish Vicente would declare his love for Beatriz. They are from different worlds. He's a white-collar college boy and she's a rough and tumble gaucha. But opposites attract. And the sooner they marry, the sooner they'll start making more little pendejitos for me to love. Listen to me. Your next challenge is marked on your hunter mates.
幼馴染がくっつくなんてことがあるんですか？
そりゃ、あるんじゃない？
幼馴染は負け組じゃないんですか？
Your next target replicates a tricky shot I made a year after my beloved Fernando was taken from me. Despite my resolve to fight, despite my prayers, I was afflicted with mala leche. Fernando's uncle Diego Che Boludo had sued me to take control of the business. And won. Total disaster.
あらま、
It was the darkest day I'd seen since my beloved left this world. And if it was all coming to an end, there was only one place I wanted to be. Here, with memories of Fernando. And that's when a remarkable opportunity presented itself. A 15-point red stack.
キャロライナさん自身がドラマの主人公みたいな人生ですね。
波乱万丈だね。
Step into the stone circle and look for the target. This isn't an exact replica of my stack that day, but it's the same shot.
体が少しだけ隠れていますが、問題ありませんね。距離もこれくらいなら大丈夫です。
Fine marksmanship. That shot, that whole hand was lucky because when I got back to the city with my record-setting stack, Uncle Diego was reported missing. They never found his body either, which implies that he fled the country, or maybe a puma got into his room, dragged him from his bed, and ate him for a midnight snack. Just speculating. Whatever happened, he was never a problem again. The family business, this reserve, they were mine. Free and clear from then on. With just a few minor obstacles along the way. Go to your last challenge.
大変な過去だと思うんですけど、どうもきな臭さを感じてしまうんですよね。
ミステリードラマの主人公か、犯人か。
This next shot has a morbid origin. About 8 years after Fernando died, there was an assassination. ¿Viste?
え？
The target was a local politician, Dario Menem. He was lobbying to open up protected habitats, like this reserve, for energy companies to exploit. I invited him here to show him the natural beauty, persuade him to change his position. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, he took a 270 bullet through the heart while hunting our red stacks. The shooter was never identified. Before you get any wild ideas, no evidence has ever suggested I was the shooter. But I am an expert on the matter. The forensics team on Dario's case asked me to help them recreate the shot. It seemed impossible to them. It wasn't an easy mark, but I proved it could be done.
証拠はなかったっていう言い方が気になりますね。
All these years later, I've recreated the shot that broke Dario Menem's heart, for you to try. Using a simple bullseye target, of course, all in good taste.
まあ、疑っていても答えが出るわけではないので、やめましょうか。これは少し狙いづらいですが、狙えないことはないですね。すいません、距離を確認します。普通に狙えば当たりますね。
Excellent. See, maybe you were Dario Menem's assassin. If you were the shooter, I'd share a mate with you. Dario was a lowlife with no vision. He radiated mala onda. Not like you and I. Che, that was 4 for 4 of my most memorable shots. You may not be a national champion like me, but you have my respect. There are plenty of other targets throughout the reserve. Use them to keep your skills sharp. I've got a new long-term goal for you. Harvest a diamond trophy from every species in the reserve. Only one other hunter has collected them all. Naturally, that hunter was me. But that was some time ago, and if we are going to impress our guests, we need more recent trophies at the lodge to prove that the red stacks today are as grand as they were in 1987. ¿Viste? Hear that? Another episode begins. Oof, but I'll have to record it. I need to check in on the search for Gilbert Baden. Take a few minutes to yourself.
ズン姉様、制作スタジオに殴り込んでください。
あれは言葉のあやだからね。
しかし、本当にこんなミッションがあるんですね。 動画的にはクリアできたら美味しいんですけど。
難しいかな。
それでは、今回はここまでとなります。ここまで見てくれた方、
ご視聴ありがとうございました。